Now normally my Cub Cadet ZT150 zero-turn mower leaves just a hint of striping on the grass, so I figured I would try out the official striping kit from Cub Cadet to see how it does. I feel like installation was pretty simple and straightforward for the most part. You've got 3 brackets and then a metal rod that goes through that holds the rollers on. So I put the 3 brackets on the lowest holes, just like the instructions say, and I used my impact drill with a socket adapter. So it was pretty easy for the most part. The one problem on the left-hand side, or the side where you start it, is the transmission kind of gets in the way. Luckily, I've got a swivel socket that I attached to my impact drill, and that seemed to do the trick without too much effort. It was a little tricky to get the last 2 rollers on, so I had to put some duct tape to hold it in place until I could push the metal bar through. Now the biggest problem, which I thought would be the easiest, was just tightening up the nut on the end. I tried to get it started by hand, but I feel like the threads must have had a little burr on them, or something was definitely off. So I figured I would just zip it on with my impact drill, but still it wouldn't even move. Then I figured, okay, I'll use my air impact tool, which is a little more powerful, but same thing, it wouldn't move. So I'm pretty sure it's stuck on there now. It probably cross-threaded, but then I was thinking, instead of fighting with that, I could just drill a hole on the other side and put a Cotter pin in just to keep it from sliding back and forth. I also put a pin on the side of the nut, again, just to keep it from sliding back and forth. I might even drill a hole where the threads are to put the pin in, because the nut that's stuck on there isn't really holding anything on. I will mention, because the deck is off center, the rollers are sort of to the left as well. There are extra holes in between the brackets, but personally I would have put extra holes a little more to the right so that way you could center it. Surprisingly, it doesn't seem to affect the striping pattern from what I've seen so far. I feel like some parts of my yard look a little better than others. I usually mow my yard with the setting on 2, so I tried that. I also mowed at 2.5 just to see if there was a difference, and yeah, it definitely looks a little better at 2.5. I think next time I might even try to mow it at 3 to see what the difference is. To be honest, I was kind of surprised you could see the striping pattern even at 2, but if you want the best look, you probably want to go up to at least 2.5 to 3. I just feel like it's a cleaner look the shorter the grass is. So obviously there's going to be a lot of variables on how tall the grass is, what type of grass, and so on. But I can definitely tell a difference from before I put the striping kit on. The stripes are definitely more obvious than before, which is all I really wanted. We'll see how it goes once I use this a couple more weeks. But so far, I think it was definitely worth getting. It does seem a little pricey considering there's not much to it, but it's not crazy expensive like some of the aftermarket ones I've seen. If you get this same striping kit, hopefully you don't have an issue with the threads like on mine. But overall, I definitely think it's worth it.